Dreams is how we overcome our fears. We deal with fear. We all do. We all have something that sits in us that has some fear. Key is, how do we overcome those fears? How do we get past them? You've heard the cliches. We've talked about it on these calls. You've heard it a bunch, right? Fear is not even real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not anything that we actually should have. It says scripturally, right? God did not give us the spirit of fear. He gave us power of love and sound mind, right? So that fear is not, it shouldn't even be in us, right? It's just, but it's of the world. We have it. We all have it to a degree. The question is, how do we get past it? How do we get past our fears? How do we get past the things that hold us back from getting to where we want to go? You just heard Steve Harvey say it. It's by having bigger dreams, having a bigger vision. And not just the vision or a dream that you think is just super unattainable, but a dream that he said, right, you would be miserable to not have it. You see, that's the difference. Sometimes we dream and we don't even believe a lot of times that we can actually have that dream. We can have that goal. We can possess that thing. We don't honestly believe that. But when you start dreaming and having a vision for your life, where now you know that you're going to have that thing. You know that your life will only really, be complete if you get to that place. We got to start dreaming bigger. We got to start dreaming bigger. Here's what it says in the text, right? Success leaves clues. It doesn't matter what industry, what area of life, it doesn't matter. Success leaves clues. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich says, if you find a millionaire, you do as he does, you'll have what he has. It does not mean on the literal sense. It just means to find someone that thinks of success, right? That has success in an area. Find out how they think, how they operate, what they do. Copy those things, these things that we're talking about, the mindsets, the habits, the perspective shifts, those things. If you copy that, you'll get the same results. So that's why we do this, because you don't need to recreate the wheel. You don't need to reinvent this thing. Success leaves clues. So you hear someone like a Steve Harvey become successful in what he does, and then he leaves some clues behind to say, hey, here's how you should probably think about overcoming your fear. We can cross-reference that with a bunch of other different people that have probably said the same thing. And here in this book, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class, it says it here, number 149 says, champions feed their vision and starve their fear. Champions feed their vision and starve their fear. So here's what it says in here. It says, all great philosophers seem to agree that human beings become what they think about most of the time. Do you believe that, guys? Do you believe you become what you think about? We become what we think about most. Okay? So here's what it says. All great philosophers seem to agree that human beings become what they think about most of the time. For this reason, the world class creates compelling visions written with a great intention to detail and fueled by emotion, and then they think about their vision all the time. The great ones seem to go through 4 stages of mental evolution after creating a world-class vision. The first stage brings them increased mental clarity, which occurs as a result of putting their dreams on paper. The second stage is an intense focus on their vision, which occurs as a result of the performer thinking about their vision morning, noon, and night. It says here, the third stage turns their intensified focus into a burning desire, which is often fueled by the frustration of seeing and believing the vision is reality on the mental plane, but not yet on the physical plane. Champions often describe incredible visualization and self-talk skills, develop incredible visualization and self-talk skills that convince the subconscious the vision they project on the movie screen of their mind is real, when at the same time, the performer's conscious mind knows it's not. We'll touch on this because it's important. A lot of people get to that stage. It says this creates what psychologists called cognitive dissonance, or two thoughts, cognitions that are inconsistent. Since the human mind hates to be inconsistent, it drives the performer to take action and make the vision a reality. This success-driven behavior creates the final stage, which occurs when the vision turns into an obsession. Most of the time, it's a healthy obsession, which means the performer is thinking, strategizing, and moving closer to her vision every day. When stage 4 kicks in, failure is no longer an option. The champion will do whatever it takes to manifest the vision. The great ones fuel their obsessions by only thinking positive thoughts about their vision, and these thoughts create psychological, physiological, and spiritual energy. At this stage, they are no longer willing to entertain thoughts of fear and will shelter themselves from anything or anyone who approaches them speaking the language of scarcity. In essence, the great ones feed their vision and starve their fears. Feeding your vision and starving your fears. This breaks it down in here. 4 levels of vision. This is kind of what he just went through. So I'm going to go through it with you because, again, all of us on this call, we are designing our ideal life. That's why you're here. You're here to design the life that you want, not just accept the life you have and manage the circumstances around your life currently. We are actively designing the life that we want. So in order to do that, you have to understand these areas and how you get your vision and bring that to life. First step is you need a vision. First step is you need to write some things down. You need to think about it. I've posed this question to many people, but here's how I pose it. Hey, fast forward me out 10 years. Fast forward me out 10 years. We're all going to end up somewhere. I know we could get hit by a bus today. I get it, right? Like, there's that side. I know. But just in general, we're going to end up somewhere in 10 years. You're going to end up somewhere in 10 years. Draw that picture for me. What does that look like? Your perfect ideal life. If you could draw it up exactly how you would want it. Not just what you would do for work, but that's a part of it. But where do you spend your time? What are your relationships like? What are you seeing on a daily basis? What are you feeling on a daily basis? What are your relationships like? What are you eating? Where are you, right? Like, can you draw up your life? Can you draw it up? Exact, because again, you're going to end up somewhere in 10 years. And back to the first part of this that says we become what we think about most of the time. So if you start thinking about the vision, if you start thinking about who you want to become and where you spend your time, guess what? You will become that. That's the vision. That's the power of the vision. The problem is we don't think about it all the time. We have a thought and then we get distracted with life. And then all the other stuff comes in. So we're not really thinking about a vision. It's there, but it's not there consistently. So that's why it says it in here. For this reason, the world class creates compelling visions written with great attention to detail and fueled by emotion. Then they think about their vision all the time. Step 1. That's what you got to do. If you haven't done that step, start there today, right? It's Friday. For some of y'all, it's the weekend. You got nothing going on tonight or tomorrow. Nothing. Sit down. Spend a couple hours thinking about the life you want. Not the life that, you think you can get to, but the life you want. You want to design it. Write it down. Don't just have it in your mind. Write it down with great attention to detail. The clearer you are on your vision, the more likely you are to get there. Always remember that. The clearer you are on your vision, the more likely you are to get there. If you are not clear on it, likely it won't happen. If you say, I want to be rich, you probably won't be it because that's too vague. If you say, I want to make $500,000 a year, and you work towards that, and that becomes the number that you put in your mind, you'll get there. Clarity. That's all. It's just clarity. So understand the first step is writing down your vision with great attention to detail, put some emotion behind it, and then start thinking about it all the time. Start living that out. Start thinking about it. Start paying attention to your vision every single day. That's where it starts. Okay? That's where it starts. Now, again, first step, the excitement phase of this vision is increased mental clarity. So that's what you're doing. You're getting clear first and foremost on what you want to happen. It says the first stage brings them increased mental clarity, which occurs as a result of putting their dreams on paper. So that's how you get clear. You don't have your vision on paper. Step number 1. It says the second stage is an intensified focus on the vision, which occurs as a result of the performer thinking about the vision morning, noon, and night. Okay? So you got increased mental clarity for your vision. Then you got an intensified focus on it. Once you write it down, habits, ladies and gentlemen, habits. Read it to yourself every morning when you wake up, midday, and before you go to bed. It's a habit. It's really difficult. I'll be super transparent. I struggle with this. I struggle with it. We have our business plans and we have our visions and things written down, but I struggle reading it in the morning and night. What I do, I have a cheat sheet. I have a whiteboard that's sitting right next to my desk right here, and it has some of the stuff on there. So I just look at it every day, right? Because I'm always here in front of my desk. So I just look at it all the time. But I don't always just, sit and I'm intentional reading it. But again, success leaves clues. If you do this, if you write it down and you read it back to yourself, it will instill it in your brain. It will imprint it in there. Your subconscious mind will go to believing that that's the world you're creating, and it will create that world. What we focus on, what we think about, and what we focus on, we get more of. So whatever's on that vision, if you keep thinking about it, you're going to get more of that in your life. You're going to see more of that in your life. So that's why these are the first two steps of creating your vision. Get clear, and then be focused on it. It's not a wish. It's not a hope. It's not like, oh, it'd be great if I did that one day. No. This dream that I want, this vision that I have, I would be miserable if I don't get it. That's why I'm going to be focused on it. Hence focus. So that's the first two steps. Then it says, the third one, the third stage turns their intensified focus into a burning desire, which is often fueled by the frustration of seeing and believing the vision is a reality on the mental plane, but not yet on the physical plane. This is where a lot of people get stuck. They even call it here the season of pain. The season of pain. Why? Because you've been so focused on your vision, it's burned into your mind. You know exactly what that life looks like. You know what it's going to feel like to live in that, 10,000 square foot house, that drive that car, be on the beach, whatever the thing is. You already feel it. You're like, oh, I know, I feel it. But you go back home to your apartment and your account's negative. And that's the life you're living. But your vision is like, I see the beach. I'm there. I know I'm there. I feel it. I got it. That's where I'm headed. But your reality is the opposite. What you go home to every day is the opposite. What you're experiencing on a daily basis is the opposite of the vision you're trying to create. This is the season of pain. This is the place a lot of people get stuck. We have that burning desire. We write down the vision, especially, right? This happens in the beginning of the year. We write down that vision, we read it, right? We got the New Year's resolutions. We're doing it. We're focused on it. We're going to the gym. We're doing all this stuff. Then we don't see anything change, right? We don't see it change. Nothing's changing. Health isn't changing. Our body's not changing. Our money's not changing. Nothing's changing. It's all the same stuff. So we give up on that vision. We stop reading it. We stop staying focused on it. We stop reading it every night, right? We stop that process because we're frustrated, because we know what we want, but we're not seeing it manifest. It's a season of pain where most people stop their vision. They stop their dream in that season of pain. It says, again, champions often develop incredible visualization and self-talk to convince the subconscious that the vision they project on the movie screen of their mind is real, but at the same time, the performer's conscious mind knows it's not. But that's the work in the season of pain. The season of pain, you have to develop incredible visualization and self-talk. That's what we're working on. That's what you're working on. If you're going through this season, if this is the season you're in, where you got a vision, you know what you want to make happen, it's ingrained in your mind, but you're not seeing it manifest, you're not seeing it happen. Well, now you just have to have great visualization and great self-talk skills. You got to keep telling yourself every day that it's possible, that it's going to happen, that I'm capable, that I deserve this, that it's going to work out. Like, you have to tell yourself these things in your season of pain. You have to constantly develop better ways to talk to yourself and not just listen to your doubts and your fears and all the stuff that comes in because you're frustrated. That's what you're learning how to do. You're learning how to develop this self-talk. You're learning how to get yourself through your seasons of pain. You're learning how to navigate what you're asking for. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you're asking for a life. When you write out that vision and it's that grandiose, that big life, that thing that you want, you're probably asking for a life that you don't know anyone else that has, right? Like no one in your circle has the life you're asking for, which normally means you got to do some things differently than all the people that you know. And creating good self-talk. And again, it says it down here at the very bottom where it says when you get to stage 4, and we'll dive into it, but it says at this stage, they no longer entertain thoughts of fear, and you shelter yourself from anything or anyone that approaches you speaking that language of scarcity, because you're so focused on developing good visualization and good personal self-talk, that now you don't even allow people around you to talk negative or to talk small or to take you out, because you're so focused. You see, this is where most people go wrong, because we're distracted, because we stay around that friends group. We stay around the small thinkers. We listen to the things that give us more fear. Like we do that. We don't put ourselves in this bubble to say, I'm just going to focus on my own personal self-talk and good visualization. I am now unlearning and relearning. I am programming my mind for the life that I want. That's what we're doing. We are programming our minds for the life that we want. Society programs us the other way. It programs you to be average, to be with the masses, to be like everyone else, to follow the herd, right? That's what they're programming you for. So you have to break away from that programming and start programming yourself with these things. Great visualization and self-talk skills. That's the season of pain that most people are in, that a lot of people stop in. But again, you got to get to level number 4, which is a healthy obsession. A healthy obsession. We sometimes have a negative connotation about the word obsession. We think it's a negative thing. Oh, you can't be obsessed with anything. Well, you ask anyone that's successful, success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. The people that are the most successful at the things that they do, they have a healthy obsession with that thing. Kobe Bryant had a healthy obsession with basketball, with being a champion. If you know someone that's really great in their relationships and their marriage, they have a healthy obsession with prioritizing their relationship. They do things differently. People that have really good marriages, like they take time out, they travel together, they have different little times throughout the week, throughout the day. They have a healthy obsession around these things. So once your vision is in place, once you have clarity around what you want, once you've gotten that intensified focus, you know you're reading it every single morning, day, night, all the time. You're just focusing on that vision. You're doing that for an extended period of time. Now that vision is burnt in, but you're frustrated because your life is not where you want it to be. It's not close to that vision. The vision is still real to you, but you're not there yet, and you're frustrated through it. You get better self-talk, you start having better visualization, and then you turn that into a healthy obsession. You turn that into a healthy obsession. It says, again, the great ones fuel their obsessions by only thinking positive thoughts about their vision. And these thoughts create psychological, physiological, and spiritual energy. What did we just talk about on Wednesday? We talk about energy is the beginning of all of this, right? It's about energy. So by you now having these good thoughts, these positive thoughts about the vision you created, no one's going to tell you you can't make that happen or it's not going to manifest for you. You're thinking good about it. That's also something that's going to bring you energy. And the energy that brings you is going to be able to help you go off. What do we talk about Wednesday? Raise your level of vibration, go after the life that you want, all those types of things. So this all works together, ladies and gentlemen. This all works together, but you got to know that you got to feed your vision and starve your fear. Feed your vision. The vision that you have of your life, it's time to feed it. Put more into it. Put time, put energy, focus on it, read it. That's the way you get to the life that you want. It's not just going to happen by chance, not by happenstance. Like this takes focus. This takes intentionality. So I would encourage all of you. It's Friday, right? It's Friday. Take this weekend. Be intentional about your vision. Be intentional about the vision of your life, of your family's life, of the legacy you want to live. Just be intentional. Start to write it down. Get clear on what you want to make happen. Make it a burning desire. Change your self-talk, change your visualization, remove all the negative stuff from around you, and let's program ourselves for success, because it's too crowded down here at the bottom, guys. It's time to get to the top of this thing. Love you guys. I really do. I want y'all to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. I appreciate all you jumping on. This is my pleasure to do this. This is my service to you. I want all of you to go out and make this thing happen. Do something this weekend that scares you, that pushes you out of the comfort zone. So your future self will thank you for it.